everybody. Blue Sox baseball is back. Live from Donovan Stadium at Murnane Field, this is the Perfect Game Collegiate Baseball League. And tonight's matchup, the 11-13 Utica Blue Sox host the 8-14 Boonville Lumberjacks. Good evening, everybody. I'm Morgan Spriggs, and look who just came back, Killian Heffron. Welcome back to the broadcast. And Killian, the Blue Sox, the week you were away, 3 victories, now climbing up into the standings. They are now within spitting distance of Mohawk Valley and trying to get up to that second spot and challenge Socrates. What has really been the difference over this week and over this recent stretch for the Blue Sox?
Well, Morgan, I'll preface this by saying maybe it's me being the difference. Me being gone is giving the Blue Sox the ability to win.
Well, hopefully they keep this trend when you're back, because you're not going anywhere.
Well, but we've seen from Utica over the past 2 or 3 weeks that they've gotten much better since that midpoint of the year, where they kind of struggled quite a bit. We saw those games against Amsterdam, which we could mention as the low points of the year. But since then, Utica's gotten a lot better. Their pitching in particular has really advanced. It's led the Blue Sox into the position they're in right now. I think Utica, if they're able to continue that tonight, they should finally be able to solve Boonville at home.
And speaking of pitching, Brandon Peterson just named recently as Eastern Division Pitcher of the Week. He was fantastic. We have another amazing hurler on the mound for the Blue Sox. It's John Regas, who leads the club in strikeouts. He's one of the big aces on the mound as Utica looks to pick up a win against the Lumberjacks. Killian.
Well, I think for the Blue Sox pitching tonight, there's going to be a lot that they have to contend with for Boonville, and we've seen that this year from the Lumberjacks. We know that they're able to hit home runs off of the Blue Sox. I mean, and we saw it the last time they played against them. Utica pretty much died by the long ball, where they gave up more homers than they were able to hit in the game that was full of solo shots. But for the Blue Sox pitching, as long as they're able to stay ahead of Boonville tonight, especially with Regas on the mound, and we know him as a former PGCBL Player of the Week earlier on the season, I think that Regas has the potential tonight to really shut down Boonville, just like he did Socrates when he pitched that complete game.
Boonville has had the Blue Sox numbered this season, especially at Donovan Stadium. The Lumberjacks 3-0 at Murnane Field in every single win by 2 runs or less. But the Lumberjacks are coming in on a 4-game losing streak. This is the perfect time, Killian, for the Blue Sox to face the Lumberjacks, because Boonville is slumping right now. How can Utica take advantage of this position they're in right now?
Well, I'll preface this by saying that Boonville, while they're slumping right now, there's not that much time left in the season. This game could very well decide their year if it ends up coming down to that, with the fact that they've lost 4 in a row coming into tonight. But Utica has the momentum. Boonville is just searching for anything. As long as the Blue Sox are able to shut down Boonville early in this game, it shouldn't be very difficult for Boonville, a team that traditionally doesn't score too many runs, to get back into it.
And finally, talking a little bit about the weather, the wind is going to be whipping all night long. Sometimes it's only a mild breeze, sometimes it's big gusts, but that could help the home run ball, and that could really aid both teams' offenses. And another big aid for the Blue Sox offense is their home run leader, Anthony Paratano, coming back from a 4-game absence. Killian.
Well, Paratano has been invaluable for the Blue Sox this year. The man who hit 2 homers in a game at Murnane Field twice on the year. That came in back-to-back games. Then he hit another home run in a game on top of that. That was all consecutive. He's since calmed down a little bit, which, I mean, I would hope so. If you're not calming down a little bit from that point, you might not even be human at that point.
I know.
But Paratano is more than capable of getting aided by the wind, which tonight it's blowing out of the east, which is a little different. It's blowing this direction. And so if you look at the field, left field, which is where the wind is blowing to, is only 315. That's a lot shorter with wind than it is in right when the wind's blowing to right, because usually we'll see balls get hit to left and then just kind of curve foul. Tonight, I think Paratano has a big chance to take advantage of the wind with his power he already has to really set things off for the Blue Sox.
Well, Anthony Paratano cleared to play tonight, back from his injury after missing 4 games. The Blue Sox trying to go to just 1 game under 500 and inch closer to Mohawk Valley and climb up the standings. Also, Jack Sweeney in the lineup. He hit a home run in the last home game against Glens Falls. When we come back, we'll have lineups and first pitch of the Jacks and the Sox. Round 4 at Donovan coming up.
Fans, at this time, we ask that you please rise if you are able and kindly remove your hats as we honor America and the brave men and women who protect this country at home and abroad with the singing of our national anthem. We perform tonight. She is a student at the Crane School of Music at SUNY Potsdam, where she is studying music education. A graduate of Whitesboro High School just last year, she participates in various music groups on campus. Please welcome Erin Gaffney.
Morgan Spriggs and Killian Heffron on hand from Donovan Stadium at Murnane Field. It is the first of 5 meetings in 6 days between the Lumberjacks and the Utica Blue Sox. And let's take a look at the starting pitcher for the Sox. Killian, it is John Regas, one of the top pitchers for the Sox this season.
Well, Regas has been the Blue Sox ace this year. 23 innings pitched, a 2.74 ERA, 1 credited win, which was that complete game, and 28 strikeouts, 19 hits allowed, a whip of 1.3. He has been the Blue Sox best pitcher nearly by far on the year, and I expect another great outing from him tonight. He's been terrific on the season.
And here is the Boonville lineup that he will face, managed by Christian Griffin. Leading off, Wyatt Lassiter, Devon Abaga bats second, followed by Argenis, R.J. Lopez batting third, Michael Clarkson bats fourth, followed by Masai Marshall batting fifth, Zep Swingham is in the sixth spot, followed by Will Hill batting seventh, Jihad Guy bats eighth, Elijah Negron bats ninth, and Seth Bischoff bats 10th.
Well, for Boonville, that top part of the lineup of Lester, Abaga, and Lopez should be pretty dangerous for the Blue Sox tonight. They will struggle against them pretty commonly. So for Utica on defense, I wouldn't be too shocked if they play aggressive here. Try to get outs when they can, because you could get punished really by any part of this Boonville lineup if they can get hot tonight.
Lassiter, who is leading off, has one of the better slugging percentages on the squad at .429. That is courtesy of his 2 doubles and 1 triple, though he doesn't have a home run. The leader in bombs is Marcus Smith, and he's made an impact against these Blue Sox season, but he is not starting right now. But we'll keep an eye on him if he may pop up later in a pinch hitter role. What do you think is the biggest key, Killian, for John Regas to get off to a good start, not be overwhelmed in the first inning? What does he have to do?
Well, I think he's just got to go 1, 2, 3. Just stand the first 3 up, sit them down. We've seen the Blue Sox do that actually quite a bit on the year, where they've made their opponent go 1, 2, 3 in the first. It gets them off to a good start, and if Boonville has to play from behind with this Utica offense on the bottom half of the inning, it could spell disaster here for the Lumberjacks.
It is a chilly day when comparing a week ago when we had temps in the high 80s and low 90s. 73 degrees. Precipitation not likely tonight. Wind at 10 miles an hour but blowing out, so that could favor the long ball as we talked about in the open. Wyatt Lassiter leads off for the Boonville Lumberjacks against John Regas. Utica at 11-13. On a bit of a hot streak. And the first pitch from Regas is taken in for a strike on the top edge of the zone. 0-1, and we're underway.
6:45 and 0 seconds.
We start the game right on top, and now an 0-1 pitch is lifted into shallow left field. Now in foul territory, that drifts off, and the catch is made for the out by Anthony Paratano, just coming back off of injury after 4 games away. And now let's take a look at the defense for the Utica Blue Sox. Catching for Regas is Ian Wirtz. RJ Tomey is at first base. Michael Flashner at second. Paratano at short. Kevin Fransella is back. He's at third. Sweeney, CJ, and Smith left to right in the outfield. So the outfield has stayed relatively the same, but some big shakeups in the infield compared to last week.
And you can feel that wind starting to gust. It's happened a couple times so far.
First pitch is smacked out to center field and caught for out number 2, and Devon Abaga is done on 1 pitch. So a couple of quick outs, in fact 3 pitches for Regas.
Well, that's exactly what we said, Morgan. That would build us confidence, just get a bunch of outs early on, and now RJ Lopez comes up with nobody on base, 2 down. That could spell disaster for Boonville here if he's not able to reach base, and Utica's offense is able to get a good start in the bottom of the first.
268 average for RJ. He takes a first pitch, outside ball 1. Lopez, 7 RBIs, 1 double and 1 bomb on the 2026 campaign, and the 1-0 from Regas is swung on and missed. Went with the breaking stuff, 1-1.
And Regas will use a lot of fastballs and breaking balls in his arsenal, and it's been very successful for him, as you just saw right there, just getting players to swing because they don't know what's coming.
There's another breaking ball cut on and miss. More success with the snap pitches for Regas. By snap pitches, they just kind of break down in the zone and dotted right on the edge. Now a 1-2 pitch is swung on and missed. Got a breaking ball in the dirt. Tag is applied by Ian Wirtz. A strikeout for Regas, and a brief 1-2-3 inning for the Lumberjacks offense on the top of the first as Regas shuts them down. We go to the bottom of the frame. Blue Sox batting when we come back. We are back in the bottom of the first, and let's take a look at the starting pitcher for the Boonville Lumberjacks. It is Eric Shepard going for the opposition today. Kaylin, what do you have on Shepard?
Well, Shepard on the year, 13 innings pitched, 2 losses credited, an ERA of 6.23, 16 hits allowed, 11 Ks.
Let's take a look at the Blue Sox starting lineup right after the first pitch to Michael Flashner. Flash, of course, one of the best players on the squad. He is a regular that starts pretty much every single game. He has the most starts on the squad with 22 out of the 24 completed games, and the first pitch is cut on and missed from Shepard. It's 0-1. So that breaking stuff, the curveball darting low, got Flash to cut and miss, and it's now 0-1. And the one-strike pitch is pushed on the ground, a shortstop. It's going to be a close play because of the speed at first, and the throw is made by Negron for the out. Let's take a look at the Blue Sox lineup. After Michael Flashner, it will be Kevin Francella, then Xavier Smith, Anthony Paratano, Jack Sweeney bats 5th, Connor Jones batting 6th, Justin Levine in the 7th spot, and then rounding it out, RJ Tomei, Bowden Fernsler, and Ian Wirtz. Here comes Kevin Francella. In his first game as a member of the Blue Sox, had an injury that precipitated a long injury recovery, but now back in the lineup, and he hops a first pitch down the first baseline, but it goes off foul where RJ Lopez is playing.
Well, Francella only 6 at-bats on the year, 2 RBI, a .333 slugging percentage, and a .333 batting average. So both of his hits on the year came in single form.
So Francella coming back to the roster, playing a second game coming off injury, and he takes that pitch a little outside on the fastball, and it's 1-1. So 2 new, well, relatively new additions to the Blue Sox lineup when comparing to the recent stretch of games last week when the Sox won 3 at home. That pitch is bounded at the middle and into center field for a base hit, and Kevin Francella has a knock in his 3rd game on the year. That's hit number 3. And now let's take a look at the defense for Boonville. Bischoff catches for Shepard. Lopez at first, Abaga at second, Negron at short, Swangham at third, Lassiter's in left field, Will Hill in center, and Jihad Guy is in right field. First hit of the game for either side, a center field single for Kevin Francella with 1 gone. Now here comes Xavier Smith. An X-Man hacks the first pitch foul, just made contact, and it's 0-1.
Smith has been one of those clutch hitters for the Blue Sox on the year. You get him into a position with runners in scoring position, and he is able to take advantage of those balls. Doesn't quite have that here, only a runner on first, but he's been great with really anyone on base. And Boonville's going to have to be wary of his power.
0-1 pitch. It's taken high, 1-1 on the fastball. .490 on base percentage for Xavier Smith, and that's buoyed a lot by his team-leading 21 base on balls. Next highest is Flashner with 19. The 1-1 from Shepard, and that pitch is rattled. Nice pick by Swangham at third. He goes to second for the out, the turn to first, and they got him. That's a double play. And we go to the second inning. The Blue Sox get a runner on, but can't score. 0-0 to the second. Both offenses bring 3 runners, or rather 3 batters to the plate. Blue Sox get 1 runner on a single by Francella, but it's 0-0 through 1. And Killing, we look at the weather. It's kind of refreshing to have a game in the low 70s with some wind, though it may be chilly to some, especially after that heat wave last week. It is a nice cool down from the blistering temperatures that began the month of July.
Absolutely, but you also look at the wind, looking at the flag that's kind of out out in the fallow ground to left field. It's actually starting to point inwards a little bit, meaning that the wind direction is becoming a little more northerly, and also that balls are going to have a harder time flying out now. So the time of the long ball may have already come and gone in this game. It's going to take a lot of power to hit things out for the rest of the night.
Michael Clarkson leads off in the second after Regis had a 7-pitch first inning with a strikeout. And now facing Clarkson, and a first pitch fly ball on the infield. Peritano camps under it, creeps in, and hauls in out number 1. 8 pitches, 4 outs recorded for Regis. So for a guy that's the biggest strikeout machine on the team leading 20 punch-outs, he pops out in the first pitch. Here comes Masai Marshall. He is the designated hitter today. First pitch from Regis. In there for a strike, 0-1.
Marshall's average on the year lower than most of the Lumberjacks, batting 200, 12 games played on the year. He has recorded 6 hits, with one of them being a double and 2 triples, but no homers yet on the season for him.
That ball was low. A nice pick by Wirtz, and the count evens up 1-1 to the Northwestern product, Masai Marshall. Waits for a 1-1 from Regis, and that's a fastball yanked outside, 2-1. Infield's playing back for the most part, especially the middle of the infield, with Peritano flirting with the grass. And no toes on the dirt for Flash at second. That pitch is fouled off behind home, 2-2. Blue Sox 11-13. Long way from their 6-11 start when they had trouble winning at home. With a home-heavy schedule the last week or so, they've really racked up those W's at Donovan. Regis looking for another strikeout on a 2-2, and that pitch bounces and gets away from the catcher Wirtz, and the ball strike count is now at 3-2 to the second hitter in the second.
Yeah, it looked like that ball might have stuck in there for a little bit too long, but also to know the humidity is making it a little sticky outside. That could play a role in pitchers kind of struggling to grip the ball and struggling to release it in particular.
1 out and a 3-2 count with none on in the second. Regis delivers. Blocked low on ball 4, and it's a walk for Masai Marshall. First base runner for Boonville on their 5th batter. So after Marshall takes his 5th walk on the year, it now brings up Zeb Swingham. He is the 3rd baseman tonight.
And Swingham batting 189 on the season. He has 10 hits and 1 double on the year.
Pickoff attempt at first is unsuccessful. We've seen 1 pickoff attempt at Donovan that was successful this season. Game 1 of doubleheader, Wes Maximo to first base. First pitch of the at-bat is on the outside corner, strike 1 to number 2. So not a great batting average for Swingham. Boonville has the 3rd worst batting average in all the PGCBL. That pitch is a sky-high pop. Wirtz, let's go with a mask, watches that ball sail up onto the roof and clanking loudly onto the tin. 0-2. You knew it was coming when Wirtz couldn't make a play, that it would fall on the metal some way and scare a few people, and it did.
Well, I was kind of surprised at how far back it came. It seemed a lot more straight up than that. It landed nearly directly over us on that tin roof.
No balls and 2 strikes. 1 on and 1 out, top of the second. And John Regis to the plate. Swing and a miss. He struck him out. The curveball away got him. And there's 2 gone. Second K and second swing for John Regis.
Well, Swingham there, or kind of Regis made him look silly. Kind of got him to chase after that ball, which was way outside the zone. And now here comes Will Hill.
University of Texas student Will Hill bats. First pitch he takes, and it's outside, so a good decision to not swing, 1-0. for the center fielder.
And I know Utica's not looking forward to facing Hill on the night. Has a homer on the year, 3 doubles, 10 hits. He's got power, but he hasn't been able to show it off too much on the season so far.
So Regas has tried that pickoff attempt a couple times. Trying to pick off Marshall. (1-0). Another fastball that missed. 2 balls and no strikes. First 2-0 count of the game for Regas. If you look at Masai Marshall, he has not stolen a base on the year. Blue Sox more prolific at stealing than the Lumberjacks on the year. So Marshall has not swiped a base yet, and now with the count 2-1 and a cut and a miss, he still has time to think if he wants to try. Blue Sox have Ian Wirtz at the dish, who is exceptional at throwing out runners at second base. The 2-1 pitch is hacked back and foul, sprayed to the right side. 2-2.
Well, what an opportunity this is here for Regas to just completely suck the life out of Boonville early on. They got that base runner, and you saw their bench start jumping up a little bit, but now they can sit him down here. It could really put a wrench in the morale of Boonville.
1 on and 2 out in the second. Pickoff attempt to first. Not there. Including the 2 strikeouts tonight so far, Regas has 30 Ks on the season. The only other that's cracked 20 is Wes Maximo. Another foul ball flown to the right side, and we'll do it again. So the longest at bat of the game for Regas as he tries to put away Hill.
That one actually clunked off the PA booth. That one made out of wood, so you didn't hear that big of a clang, but still definitely there.
Regas checks on the runner, Marshall at first. Another 2-2 pitch to Will Hill. Swing and a miss, struck him out. Some more breaking stuff does the job. 3 strikeouts in 2 innings for Regas. He shuts down Boonville again, 0-0 going to the bottom of the second. We are back in the bottom of the second inning. Scoreless affair from Donovan Stadium at Killian. After a 4-game absence, Anthony Paratano cleared to play. He is in the shortstop role tonight on defense, but batting cleanup for Doug Dillette tonight. Anthony's had a great season.
Well, batting-wise, he's been great. Like you said, .323 average on 31 at-bats, 10 hits and 5 homers. He doesn't have an extra base hit, fun fact, on the year besides those home runs. But in the field, a .968 fielding percentage with only 1 error committed on the year on 23 attempts. It's been long awaited here for the Blue Sox to have him back in the lineup as he walks up to perfect timing by Shadur Sanders.
Anthony Paratano, leading home run guy in the squad. What can he do in his return? That first pitch curves in, 1-0. Shepard ready. And his 1-ball pitch, and Paratano takes it outside, so a favorable count to Anthony. Not only does he lead in home runs, he has a .323 batting average, which is one of the best on the team. .806 slugging percentage and .500 on-base percentage. Also leads the team. And a 2-0 pitch is low. Another fastball near the dirt. 3 balls and no strikes. So Paratano doesn't just get on base, killing. When he gets on base, he does it in big ways with big swings.
Well, I mean, you talk about that slugging percentage is astronomically higher than the next closest person, which is Jack Sweeney, who has a 567. That's an 806 compared to the 567 at the 2 spot for the Blue Sox.
That pitch also off the zone from Shepard. It's a 4-pitch walk to Paratano, and it's clear that Boonville does not want to face Paratano, or at least give him anything to hit in this contest, lest a mistake be made. And so a 4-pitch base on balls issued by Shepard, and now here comes Jack Sweeney. And you were talking about the OPS gap, make that on-base percentage gap, also OPS, between Paratano and Sweeney. Well, Jack follows Anthony in the lineup, and that pitch is a fastball that misses the zone. So 5 balls to start out the inning for Shepard.
And Shepard's just got a reel in the control here. This is a Utica lineup that if they get base runners on, they can punish you really quickly. Shepard's just got to take a breath here and just focus on throwing it into the zone.
Wrapped along third and foul outside the line. John Regas, just 1 base runner through his innings, 2 scoreless. Shepard trying to work 2 innings with 0s of his own. That pickup attempt to first is late. Paratano not a huge stolen base threat, just 1 swipe on the year in 1 attempt. Eric Shepard set. Is 1-1 to Jack Sweeney with Paratano at first. And Anthony takes off. That's a pitch in, and it's bobbled at home plate, and that's the 2nd stolen base for Anthony Paratano. A little bit of a surprise.
I think surprise is an understatement. I mean, they weren't checking up on him there at first. He's just able to take off, and obviously the throw was bobbled, so he wasn't really tested getting in, but he almost definitely would have beaten the throw because nobody thought he was going to take off, and now you see, now they're starting to look back at him a lot more on second.
Fouled off along home plate. Clanked off the equipment of the catcher, Seth Bischoff. 2-2. So Paratano with his 2nd stolen base on the year. In scoring position at second for Jack Sweeney. Looking to up his RBI total, which right now sits at 11. The 2-2. Hits him, and it's 2 on. That pitch, I don't know if it hit him exactly on the head, but it was in the upper body region.
It looked more in the shoulder area to me, kind of like the top of the shoulder blade. That's definitely not going to feel good, but fortunately able to walk off to first under his own power and bring up Connor Jones.
Blue Sox have 2 on with none out on a walk and a hit by pitch, and Connor Jones trying to feast on the opportunity against a pitcher making his 4th start on the year. That is the 5th hit by pitch for Shepard this season. He's now 3rd on the team in that category, that inauspicious mark. Here's CJ. Infield is way in, especially Lopez at first, possibly expecting a sacrifice bunt. Here comes RJ creeping into the plate. There's the bunt. Side of the mound. Throw by Shepard is in time. Sack bunt for Connor Jones moves the runners over to 2nd and 3rd. Beautiful small ball for the Blue Sox. Connor Jones with a sacrifice bunt. Paratano is now at 3rd and Sweeney at 2nd.
I mean, really not much of a decision needed to be made there from the Blue Sox with 2 speedy players on the base. Just lay down, nice butt, advance them along, nobody down. That sacrifice bunt becomes the first out. Now you got plenty of time here to have Levine.
First pitch is zapped in for a strike from Shepard, 0-1. Christian Griffin still has his defense way in. Basically as far in as you can go The 0-1. Lifted to center field. This should get a run home. Will Hill retreats, makes the catch. The tag up by Peritano. He comes home as the throw reaches Negron at short. 1-0 Blue Sox on a sac fly by Levine.
Well, that's what they needed right there. You had Rigas shutting down the Boonville offense on the other side. And now the Utica offense able to take control here, get the first run of the game.
First sac fly of the year for Levine. He now has driven in 14 runs in 2026, and the Sox strike first in the second. So the leadoff walk and hit by pitch costs Eric Shepard at least one run. Blue Sox trying to get a couple. As a first pitch fastball finds his own for strike one to RJ Tomei. RJ playing at first base tonight. Coming in with a .255 batting average, 4 extra base knocks. The 0-1 is rattled and foul to the Blue Sox dugout. Nice catch made in the dugout by Connor McCartney. Not in the lineup tonight. Sweeney is the runner on base at second. Outfield now pushed back to relatively normal depth after the sac fly. And Shepard's 0-2. Another hit by pitch. Make that 2 in the inning.
And control's been an issue here for Boonville. 2 hit by pitches and a walk in this inning alone. And you gotta wonder here for Christian Griffin, what's the point where you start thinking about maybe taking Shepard out, maybe bringing somebody up in the bullpen? He's only given up 1 run, but these hit by pitches are making it a lot more difficult for Boonville, who just want to get out of the side with minimal damage.
So 2 out and 2 on in the second. Sox up a run. Shepard's first pitch is a beautiful play by Swingham to stop that ball at third, and he throws on to first for out number 3. The Blue Sox get a run, and strand 2, they lead after 2 innings of play. Blue Sox grab a run on the sac fly in the bottom of the second. And in the top of the third, John Rigas tries to hold that advantage. Coming off 2 strikeouts to end his second inning of Zeb Swingham and Will Hill. To the third, he will have Jihad Guy, Elijah Negron, and Seth Bischoff.
Well, Rigas has done a great job handling the rest of the lineup so far. What's to say he can't continue to do so? Been excellent on the season so far for him. And I don't expect that he's going to have too much in terms of trouble handling this part, as long as he's able to stay with what works and keep these Boonville players guessing at which pitch comes, because when they're guessing, nobody can make contact off of them.
Rigas now up to 31 strikeouts on the year, including tonight. He has walked only 1 batter. That was Masai Marshall with 1 out in the second. That's the only runner on base through 2 innings for the Lumberjacks. Here's Jihad Guy, the right fielder, leading it off in the third. First pitch is up high, a fastball, 1-0.
Guy with the opportunity to give the fans free tacos by striking out. Hasn't done it that much this year, only 3 times, but clearly, or excuse me, he's clearly has the potential to do so.
Now 1-1 Some nice heat sinking low from the hurler, 1-1. So bottom of the order for Boonville. Down a run, and the 1-1 pitch is nicked foul to the backstop. And 2 strikes on Guy. Chance for free Taco Bell vouchers, courtesy of the Taco Bell K-Man promotion. If Jihad Guy strikes out, and there's 2 strikes on him. With Negron on deck, nobody on to begin the third. Swing and a miss in the dirt, struck him out. Throw on to first, completes the K. And that's another strikeout for Regis. It's 3 in a row, 4 on the day, and tacos for everybody.
We'll talk about 3 straight batters coming up. 3 straight batters retired for him between the top of the second and the top of the third now. And now you got Negron coming up. And if he can continue his strikeout pace, it's going to be a great day for him. He started out a little slow with them, with only 1 K in his first 5 batters faced. And since then, he has been unstoppable with 3 straight Ks.
First pitch is outside, 1-0, and after Jihad Guy strikes out for the 4th time, John Regis has to contend with Elijah Negron. He has struck out 19 times. That ball is low, 2-0. So a rare 2-ball and no strike count for Regis. Elijah Negron, sophomore infielder from Maryland Eastern Shore. Now here playing in Central New York in the PGCBL. And a 2-0 pitch is slowly hit. Peritano has to make a sidearm throw. He executes it flawlessly to RJ Tomei at first, 2 gone. Anthony has never left almost at shortstop. It feels like he's never left because he makes those throws right after that 4-game absence.
Well, what a little sidearm toss that was. I mean, there's not much to describe that other than maybe a lob. I mean, perfectly placed, knew he had enough time to not overthink it and not put too much power on that ball. Gets the out at first, and now Utica an opportunity to go 1-2-3 again.
That pitch is in for a strike as Seth Bischoff couldn't check his swing. 0-1. Catcher at the bottom of the lineup. And an 0-1 is waved at and missed at the fastball high, and 2 strikes on the 10-hitter.
The Blue Sox have not faced more than 4 batters in a side here in this game.
0-2 is low. 1-2 now.
Trying to tie the lowest possible amount of batters you can face in the side, which they already set back in the first, going 1-2-3. See if they can do it again.
Here comes the 1-2 from Regis. Swing and a foul tip in the mid, struck him out. 5 strikeouts and 3 scoreless innings. John Regis dazzling tonight at Donovan Stadium. Blue Sox lead 1-0 going to the bottom of the third. We're back in the bottom of the third. John Regis, 3 scoreless frames. 5 of his 9 outs have been recorded by the K. Killian, how brilliant has he been tonight so far?
Well, his control has been particularly what's impressed me. Doesn't matter what he throws. Could be a breaking ball, could be a curveball, could be a fastball, which he uses a lot. It's all either in the strike zone or close enough to that the Boonville players will wave at it and try to make contact, which has just been not possible for them so far in the night. Boonville all zeros on the scoreboard in every column right now of their stats.
Leading off the bottom of the third for your Blue Sox from Chester, Connecticut, the catcher, number 61.
Ian Wirtz leads off for the Sox, followed by Michael Flashner and Kevin Francella in the home third inning. Wirtz, the last batter to take his first at-bat of the game. That pitch gets away to the backstop from Eric Shepard, 1-0. Blue Sox got a run on a sac fly by Justin Levine. It was a walk, hit by pitch, sac bunt for Jones, and then the fly to plate Peritano. The 1-0 is pushed on the ground to shortstop. Negron gobbles it up, skips a throw over. Lopez picks it out. One gone.
Well, that on the hit there, that one just kind of died in the turf. Usually we'll see it take a more significant bounce than that. Instead, it just kind of dribbled, and much to Boonville's delight, makes it easier to scoop up and throw off to first.
Here comes Michael Flashner. Grounded out to Negron at short his first time up. He's 0 for 1. Blue Sox just one hit on the game. That was Francella's one-out single in the first. He bats next as that first pitch is outside, 1-0 on the fastball. Blue Sox took advantage of 2 hit-by pitches in the second inning and had some small ball. 1-0. That's grooved in, strike one. Nice frame by Bischoff. Infield's back on the right side and at short. Third base at normal depth. The 1-1 missed outside. No chance of swinging there for Flash. And it's 2-1.
It's good here to see Shepard getting his control back. He was struggling on that quite a bit back in the second. I'm sure Boonville is going to be very pleased with what they've seen so far, even though a couple of his pitches have just missed, like that one right there.
Chance at a walk for Flashner. It would be his 20th if he gets it. And 3-1. Misses high and away, and there's that walk for Flashner. Second player with 20 or more. And the Blue Sox have a base runner with one gone in the third. Here's Kevin Francella, 1 for 1 with a single. The X-Man is on deck. Francella stepping in to the right-handed hitting box. Speed of Flashner at first, obviously a threat to steal. We may see a couple pickoff attempts by the pitcher. That pitch is lined into right field, base hit. It rolls all the way to the corner. Jihad guy races after it, slides at the warning track. Rounding third is Flashner. The throw to the plate is cut off. RBI double into the corner for Francella. The Blue Sox have doubled their lead on the third, 2-0. That is the third RBI in the year for Kevin Francella.
Well, Francella is responsible for both of the game's hits, and that one was perfect into opposite field. Kind of took a little almost bonk off the bat. Not quite the contact he wanted, but he will absolutely take it. Got enough of it to put it into the outfield, and it was a long run for Jihad guy to pick that one up. Had to slide and make the throw, which ultimately wasn't accurate enough to the point where it had to be cut off.
Here comes the X-Man, Xavier Smith, 0 for 1, grounded into a double play to end the first. Takes the first pitch up high, 1-0. So the Blue Sox are often at their best when they take a lead early. And they have done that with 2 runs through the first 3 innings of play. The 1-0 is going to hit him, and that's another hit by pitch. Make that 3 on the game, issued by Eric Shepard. And boos cascading from the crowd with X-Man trotting to first.
Well, this is a dangerous position to have the X-Man coming up with 2 runners on. We talked about it earlier. He's a clutch hitter, and this is the exact situation he thrives off. Or excuse me, yeah. Paratano, but all the same.
The sentiment remains the same. Anthony Paratano, so threatening, walked and scored in the second in his first plate appearance.
I mean, arguably you would rather face Smith in this situation with what we've seen Paratano do this year. He is dangerous. And it could be a rough going here for Boonville if they can't get him under control.
First pitch from Shepard is taken upstairs, ball 1. It was a 4-pitch walk for Paratano in the second, as it didn't seem like Shepard wanted to face him at all and challenge him in the strike zone, given his home run potential. The 1-ball offering to the plate. Here it comes. That's in tight again. 7 pitches to Anthony Paratano, and all of them have missed the strike zone. Francella at second on that RBI double. Smith took a hit by pitch, and he's at first. And the 2-0 from Shepard is in the air to right field. Down the line, Guy loses his cap, dives, and he makes the catch. No, he does. Yes, he does. It is a grab for Guy. He loses his hat. It almost looked like the ball dropped, but it is a grab. No, it's...
No, Morgan, I think he had that ball in his glove and he dropped it.
He dropped it at the very end.
It was really tough to see. I mean, that was literally as far or close onto the foul line as you could possibly get.
Pardon me. They rule it a hit for Paratano. I thought Guy dove and made the catch as he tried a risky maneuver, and it doesn't work. The bases are now loaded for Sweeney. My goodness. First pitch at a half-swing roller. Swingham slides and executes the throw to first. That plates a run. Scoring is Francella on the ground up for Sweeney, and the Blue Sox lead 3-0. Now here comes Connor Jones. Both runners move over on the ground out as well. Smith at third, Paratano at second. Blue Sox have had a lot of traffic in the second and third innings. 2 runs scored in this frame. Connor Jones wants to add on now and make it a big inning. First pitch is dipping low for a ball. I mean, going back to that Guy catch, it's so down the line. The first question is, did he catch it? Second question is, if he didn't catch it, is it fair or foul? There's so many different minute details that need to be made and calls that need to be executed in quick succession. That pitch is on the outside on a close pitch, 1-1. I mean, that was a really close play, and Jihad Guy almost made it, Killian, but it goes in the Blue Sox favor in the end.
And Morgan, I like the scoring decision on that because that's not an easy play for Guy to make. He had to sprint over and dive as far as he possibly could and just couldn't quite get to it. I absolutely would not consider that to be an error.
That curveball drops in a little bit low for strike 2. Another questionable call, but it's final, and the count 1-2 to Jones. 2 runners in scoring position in the third. And here's Shepard's pitch. Swing and a ground ball. Foul.
Oh, that one looks like
foul.
It was on the line to me. It definitely wasn't over the line like that one fan suggested, but it seemed to be right down it. But umpire's decision final. Blue Sox have to do it again. But the dugout certainly did not like that decision.
Testy at bat. Connor Jones not liking some of the calls at home plate, and then a fair foul decision, controversial, didn't go in the Blue Sox favor. See what can happen on this next one too. Fouled off to the right side, heading for the Boonville bullpen, and it sails over it. So CJ stays alive. Justin Levine is on deck. Smith at third, Paratano at second. X-Man got on base on a hit by pitch and has now reached third. Paratano placed a single down the line. 1-2 pitch is grounded and off the glove of Swingham and into left. That scores one. Here's the throw to the plate. Not there. 2-run score. Connor Jones comes through. They rule it an error, and the Blue Sox lead 5-0.
Well, it's been a very run-heavy inning here for Utica. And now with Levine coming up, got a runner on first, 2 down, so a bit of a reset here almost for the Blue Sox, but the damage has absolutely been done. A 5-0 advantage for Utica, and this offense really waking up here.
After Zeb swing and made several excellent plays at third base rather, as that pickoff is not there. He cannot pick that ground ball off the bat of Connor Jones, and it costs Boonville a pair of runs. 5-0 the score in the third. That pitch is hit well in the air to left field, but Wyatt Lassiter has a beat on it. He circles and secures the out, and there's 3 gone in the third. We'll go to the fourth. Blue Sox put 4 on the tally.
We welcome you back here to Blue Sox baseball. Utica leads 5-0 over Boonville following 3 innings of play. And here come the Lumberjacks sling to response, starting with Wyatt Lassiter. He flew out into foul territory back in the first. That was Anthony Paratano that got back and made a really great catch. Had to track that one for a while. Utica 3 hits on the day. Boonville still searching for their first, as that pitch misses 1-0. Regas at the mound has been absolutely incredible on the night so far. 5 strikeouts, and he's been through the order only once through the first 3 innings. However, that second pitch does get away, 2-0.
Regas now with a 5-run cushion as the Blue Sox have taken advantage of some mistakes for the Lumberjacks. I know that was a tough play by Jihad Guy, but he could have made the catch. Instead, he dropped it at the very end down the right field line. Then an error, scoring 2. Blue Sox have made the plays when it counted.
That one swung through by Lester, 2-1.
Seems like that curveball by Regas has just been fooling Boonville all night.
Blue Sox infield playing in their normal positions, but the outfield kind of responding to how the wind has shifted more towards home plate, is moving in. Sweeney, Jones, and Smith all standing 3 or 4 steps in from where they normally would. As Lester now facing 2-2. And that one is chopped, fielded cleanly at second to throw to first in time. Flashner able to turn that one off the one-hop to Tomei to retire Lester, and the first runner-up is out.
That was such a rangy play for Flashner. He makes it look easy, but he had to really stretch his arm to pick that ball on one hop. That was a nice play by Flashner. It was kind of underrated defensive plays that have shined for the Blue Sox in their rise up the standings.
So here's Devon Abaga, who flew out to center his first time up.
I think something interesting about Regas is, of course, you would love a pitcher who throws first pitch strikes, and Regas has done that a bunch. Shattered bat there.
And it ends up on the top of the dugout.
Wow.
And about 4 kids ran over there trying to claim the shattered bat.
That's crazy. What I was saying about Regas is what I like about him is sometimes he does throw first pitch balls, and it's 1-0, maybe even 2-0, but he doesn't get discouraged by that and get behind batters and throw some pitches he may want to have back. He uses his best stuff. He throws it flawlessly with supreme execution and really doesn't let it faze him. He just throws his stuff. He's the kind of pitcher that you want on the mound to calm everybody down.
The 1-1 is swung through, so Abaga with a new bat misses on his first offering seen with that new bat. And now the 1-2. And that one just missed. Blue Sox dugout thought that one may have been in there for a strike, but no call there from the umpire. We'll play on. Flashner backed up a couple steps. He's out onto the grass. Everyone else playing at normal positions for the Blue Sox. And a swing and the miss. And down on strikes is Abaga for the 6K on the day for Regas. So RJ Lopez now comes on up. Lopez struck out his first time facing Regas. And now Regas an opportunity to retire him for a second time, as Boonville has had absolutely nothing on offense tonight.
They really haven't, Killian, at all. It's a slumping team facing a red-hot pitcher, and this is the combo.
That one's fouled off 0-1. The one base runner for Boonville on the night was Messiah Marshall, who walked in the second. Beyond that, they haven't been able to get off home plate.
Not at all. A lot of weak contact, solid fielding, and the K. That's been the key.
And an opportunity here for another K for Regas, as it's now 0-2. Regas, this will be a 7th strikeout on the night already.
And it would mark the 3rd consecutive inning with multiple strikeouts.
Regas trying to go 1-2-3 for the 3rd time today and get his 7th K. Here's the 0-2. And that one bounces in the dirt.
Another interesting part of Regas' day so far is that he has ended every inning so far, 1 through 3, with a K, and an opportunity to do that again. His strikeout stuff has been the stuff that ends innings, shuts down offenses, and gives the ball to the Blue Sox offense, which has already put up 5 on the night.
So here comes a 1-2. Regas takes a breath and delivers. Swung on and missed, strike 3. Another 1-2-3 inning for the Blue Sox defense. 2 strikeouts recorded for Regas. He's up to 7 on the night. The Blue Sox an opportunity to expand their lead when we come back. RJ Tomei to lead off for the Blue Sox. They lead this one 5-0. Tomei isn't going to be feeling good, particularly on the side facing Eric Shepard, as he got hit his last time up. Hoping for a less painful result, but equally as contributive this time around. Shepherd's had control issues tonight as that first pitch is fouled off, strike one.
And there's still nobody throwing in the Boonville pen, though they do have players up and moving. To see what Christian Griffin will do.
The 0-1. Swung on foul, and quickly behind 0-2 is Tomei. After RJ, it's Bowden Fernsler and Ian Wirtz. And then we would get back to the top of the order, which has had just an absolutely insane night so far. Utica, their second time around here in the fourth. The 0-2. Fly ball, and it's snagged there by Zeb Swingham. A line out there for Tomei, which he's going to wish he could have back because what a snag that was by Swingham at third base.
He barely had to move. I mean, that's a double 95% of the time, but hit in the perfect spot for the first out.
Just kind of stuck his arm up there and made it look easy, snagging that one out of the sky. So here comes Bowden Fernsler. He grounded to Swingham his last time up, who has just been absolutely insane tonight. And here he goes again. Swingham picks that one up and retires Fernsler. So 2 pitches, 2 outs for Boonville here over the last couple pitches. And now the catcher Ian Wirtz comes back up. Wirtz grounded to short his first time up. That was NeGrom. He grounded to. His second time facing Shepherd on the night. And the Blue Sox quickly in a 2-out hole, which is very unlike what happened the last time up, where they didn't record their first out until the 4th batter of the inning. Now hoping to not go 1-2-3. That first pitch was fouled off, it's 0-1. After Wirtz, it would be back to Flashner. As Wirtz swings on the 0-1, line into left field, that drops for a base hit and maybe more. Easily rounding first and making it in the second. He will not try for third. It's a stand-up double for Ian Wirtz.
Third double on the year for Wirtz, and the lineup top to bottom is contributing in so many different ways.
And you have to wonder when Christian Griffin pulls the plug and brings in a new pitcher. Still nobody throwing in the bullpen, but like you said, people stretching out. And here comes the Flash himself. Michael Flashner comes on up. He grounded out, although he nearly beat that ground out to first base and walked on the night so far. Not a runner in scoring position, looking to extend the lead. He swings through that first pitch, 0-1.
Now, Killian, an interesting dynamic is I think there's 2 sides to it. Either you keep Shepherd in because A, you think he can perform better over the course of the game and you've seen some stuff you like, or you know this game may not be a winnable game and you want to keep some of your relievers fresh, as the count now is 1-1. But on the other hand, Boonville needs a win here. They have to pull out all the stops. They know that they can beat the Blue Sox at Donovan. They've done it 3 times already, so they got to put out their best pitchers, and Shepherd's given up 5 runs, so not all of them earned.
Flashner jumps out of the way of that one after examining it as it falls into the ground, 2-1.
But do you see that dynamic, Killian? It's like, still nobody throwing in the Boonville pen. They need to win this game, and right now Shepherd's having some trouble.
Not the night for Boonville to be giving up a lot of runs to Utica, who 4 hits on the night, 1 error committed by Boonville, which resulted in a couple of runs. But you know that's got to be in the back of Christian Griffin's mind, like, we're slowly sliding on the playoff race. We need to gain some ground, and just this is not the way to do it right now as Shepherd struggled. 3-1 to Flashner. Fouled off, full count.
And this is the only game going on in the East today. Oneonta and Socrates postponed. Olean leading Geneva 10-9, bottom of the 7th, game 1 of a doubleheader. And Niagara Falls up 2-0 on Niagara. So 2 games going on in the West. This is the spotlight game in the East right now, and the Blue Sox are winning it big.
And that one misses ball 4, and so 2 base runners on here for Utica. Wirtz and Flashner both reach base. Flashner with second walk on the day. And here comes Kevin Francella. A single and an RBI double and a run scored on the day for him.
Excellent night for Francella. They're trying to keep the train rolling. It seems the 2 out in the fourth, Blue Sox may be going quietly, trying to just keep their 5-run lead where it is, but now threatening again. They're so good with 2-out hitting, especially lately, and Francella is a good guy to have up, especially after his first 2 at-bats of the game today.
It's been another fast game. We've said it before. These two teams play each other very fast. Not much dragging on that happens when these two face one another, like what happens when Utica plays Amsterdam. That one in their own, too. And so the Blue Sox now in danger of potentially blowing this opportunity to widen the lead as Francella stares down the non-positive count. All team fielders in their normal positions. 0-2. Swung on, chopped foul. We'll do it again. So 60 pitches here on the night for Shepard. And that number continues to climb. And still nobody quite warming up yet here for Boonville, but a swing and a miss. And Francella goes down on strikes. So Blue Sox unable to add to the lead in the bottom of the fourth. They still lead 5-0. Boonville looks to respond when we come back. Four innings completed. We enter the fifth as Boonville looking to respond as Utica leads this one 5-0.
Domination through 4 innings for John Reyes. The only base runner is a walk in the second inning to Masai Marshall, who will hit in this frame. And 7 strikeouts. 1 in the first, 2 in the second, 3, make that 2 in the third, and 2 in the fourth. Just efficient for Regas, and what I'm most interested in, he's going to be dominant for the rest of the game, however long he goes. It's how long can he go, Killing, which really intrigues me, especially with this 5-run lead.
Well, we saw him in that 7-inning complete game against Socrates, which was part of that doubleheader.
Yeah. That
he was able to go for a very long time. Obviously, he completed that game. His pitch count got up into the 90s.
But a 7-inning doubleheader is a little different than a 9-inning standard game. So see how long he can go tonight. But that is a good point. He has had a complete game on the year.
The first pitch to Clarkson misses, or excuse me, it does not miss, 0-1. I was close. The 0-1. That one swung through, and now quickly ahead is Regas. If he strikes out Clarkson, it will be 3 consecutive Ks. Already has 7 on the day. Looking for number 8. Instead, it's a high fly ball into right center field. This one goes back, and it is caught. What a catch in center field by Jones. That is absolutely ridiculous. He does a backwards roll and is able to snag that one in. I didn't know if he caught it until he stuck up his glove like, yeah, I got that.
CJ acted like it was a fire drill. He stopped, dropped, and rolled, and he made the catch for the out. It could have been a big hit for Clarkson, perhaps even a double. Instead, CJ tracked it all the way.
And Boonville now just scratching their head for answers. That was the best contact they've gotten all day by far, and it didn't drop.
I think if that ball hooked a little more to the right and closer to Xavier Smith, that would have been a hit, but just enough into right center for Connor Jones to have a play, and he made it.
Now the Blue Sox are going to be thinking the win for that. As we said, it's blowing more towards home plate now. That could have easily gone out, but the wind might have honestly played a role in keeping that one in the park. So Messiah Marshall now up. He's walked on the night so far. The only base runner for Boonville came on that walk.
And a chance to walk again with the count 3 balls and no strikes on another close pitch.
Enriquez has struggled against the DH Marshall on the evening so far. See what he can do, try to work out of it. He throws one right down the middle, 3-1, trying to work back in the count. His 1-2-3 inning streak is on the line. It's currently at 2. The 3-1 in there, called strike 2.
I'm telling you, Regas is calm as a cucumber, or is it? It's cool.
It's cool as a cucumber.
It's calm as a cucumber. That's hilarious. You know what I meant.
And that one is in there, called strike 3.
Calm as a cucumber, Killian.
Absolutely ridiculous stuff from Regas on the night. That's his 8th K. And now he has an opportunity to make Boonville go 3 straight innings where they went 1-2-3.
That's the first strikeout looking on the day for Regas. His previous 7 were all, you guessed it, swinging. Captain Obvious here.
Zeb Swing of the third baseman is now up. He struck out one of the 8 victims of Regas on the day. That first pitch gets away.
Well, what I was saying before I mixed up my sayings is that it was a 3-0 count. It looked like Marshall was going to take a walk easily, and then strike 1, strike 2, strike 3. The ability for Regas to climb back into counts has been so huge to his season and his night.
Swingham stares at that pitch high, 2-0, and he might have to do the same thing here against Zeb, as hasn't really been able to find a strike zone for him.
I mean, the only bad thing about it is that it really rises up his pitch count.
But I'm sure he won't care as long as his stats stay low enough. High fly ball. Jones settles under it, and Connor Jones makes the catch and retires to side. Boonville, for the 4th time today and the 3rd consecutive inning, goes 1-2-3. The Blue Sox an opportunity to extend their lead when we come back.
Right fielder number
We're
10,
back here for the bottom of the fifth. Xavier Smith comes on up to face the new pitcher, Bronx Lewis. Smith on the night, grounded into a double play, then got hit by a pitch and scored a run. It's been an interesting night for him. And for more info on the new pitcher, Bronx Lewis, we'll turn it over to Morgan.
The info I have on him pitching-wise is he has no info. This is his first time on the mound, at least the stats that I'm looking at, this season. He's played in 9 games as a hitter, 143 batting average, but first time as a pitcher. I mean, did Boonville forget to bring bullpen arms? I'm confused.
Well, from that very first pitch we saw, he clearly has pitched before, as that was a good fastball that caught the outside of the zone 0-1. And his second offering is chopped to short. The throw to first is dropped at first base. He's safe. It was a bit of a low throw, but we'll see how they end up scoring it. Obviously an error, but I'm not sure what the error will go. I'd imagine probably E3.
They do flash the E on the scoreboard. Second error of the game for the Blue Sox opponent, Boonville.
And here comes Anthony Paratano.
I don't want to disparage Boonville here, but it is an interesting decision to put a pitcher who hasn't pitched all season in the 5th inning of a game that's still only 5-0. It's just a decision I didn't expect, you know what I mean?
Utica can try to make it be a bad one right here, as Paratano is not the guy you want to face in this spot. But the wind definitely is not going to help him, as that one misses 1-0. Paratano walked in a base hit on the day, has scored 2 runs, responsible for 2 of the 5 Utica runs on the day. That one in there for a strike, 1-1. Rain might slowly be starting to creep into the area later on in this game. Shouldn't be anything that would warrant a rain delay or anything of that sort, but we'll be interested to see how that would affect the game. 1-1, Lewis delivers. Missed, 2-1. After Paratano, it's Jack Sweeney and Connor Jones. And Jones made 2 great catches in the top of the 5th, one of them being routine, the other one being far from it, where he had to do a backward somersault and complete the catch. Lewis doesn't hide quite what he's doing right there, checks up on first, easily stepping back is Xavier Smith. It remains 2-1. Anthony Paratano at the plate, standing in the right-handed batter's box, facing the lefty Lewis. 2-1 coming. Missed tie. And Paratano here could potentially be taking his 3rd trip on the night to first base, his 2nd in walking format. And if you're Paratano here, Morgan, what do? Do you hold off no matter what in this situation?
I would.
And he does just that, holds off, and it's a 5-pitch walk as Paratano makes his way to first base. Runners on first and second, nobody down, bringing up Jack Sweeney, who got hit by a pitch and grounded in a run earlier on in this game. Sweeney steps into the right-handed batter's box, his first time facing Lewis on the season. In fact, it's all these guys' first time facing Lewis on the season. Like you said, his first time out on the mound this year. Infield creeping way in, double steal attempt. Can they get the runner at third? No. A great job stealing by Smith and Paratano. They execute the double steal.
Paratano has gone from 1 steal to 3 in one game. 2 steals for Paratano now, and then Smith gets 1 as well.
Christian Griffin had a question for the home plate umpire. The coach of Boonville obviously didn't like what he heard back. Infield pulled way in here, just trying to prevent a run from coming home. Nobody down. It's quickly 2-0. And here comes a conversation at the mound as Bischoff and Lewis will talk things over to say what you need to say, being played by PA announcer Tim Best.
one of the classics. Say what you need to say. It's true.
He's added on to his arsenal throughout the year. We've gradually heard more new sound effects as this one's gone on. He prides himself in adding more every time he comes up with an idea. And they've been successful this year. Infield still pulled way in. Outfield in their normal positions besides left field, who is skewed back, or excuse me, right field is way in. Now that I give it a second look, that one's fouled off 2-1. Yeah, the right fielder, Guy, is really playing in, maybe in an attempt to prevent anyone from coming home. Jack Sweeney at the plate. He watches that one high, 3-1. And if Sweeney gets on, it will load it up for Connor Jones, who would have Justin Levine after him. Nobody down yet for the Blue Sox in the 5th as they look to expand their lead. They already are up 5-0. The 3-1. Swung on, high fly ball onto left center. That'll drop, and that'll easily score the 2 runs. Coming on home and easily scoring are Smith and Peritano. Pulling into second, it's a 2 RBI double for Jack Sweeney. The Blue Sox lead 7-0.
3 RBIs on the night for Jack Sweeney. And the Blue Sox are feeling it. In their last 2 home games, they have outscored their opponents 16-0. Now up 7-0 on a Boonville team that really looks like a squad that's lost 4 in a row. The Blue Sox are just playing with a lot of heart and a lot of passion right now against a Boonville team that's slipping.
Still 2 innings until the mercy rule comes into effect. That comes in at 10 runs in the 7th inning and later. But with the way it's gone, you'd imagine that Utica potentially could get to that 10-run mark here in the 5th with nobody down, runner on second, and a lineup that's more than capable of getting big hits. That pitch missed low, 1-0, as Lewis has struggled a bit early on the mound.
Ball.
Lewis checks behind him. Runner takes off for third. No throw, and sliding on in, no problem, is Jack Sweeney. Sweeney, no problem snagging that bag. Took off, and the catcher Bischoff realized it was not worth trying to risk that throw. The 1-1. Swung on, grounded through the middle, base hit. That'll bring home a run. It's an RBI single for Connor Jones, and it's 8-0 Blue Sox. And nobody up and warming up in the Boonville bullpen again.
Number 6, Justin Levine.
Justin Levine now comes on up. So 1-1 to Justin Levine. Connor Jones had the RBI single. Jones takes off, and he's in the second. No trouble there for him. Connor Jones swipes yet another bag. And the Blue Sox have been running all over Boonville offensively on the night. So you look at who's coming up. It is, after Levine, it is Tomei, Fernsler, and Wirtz. Still nobody down for the Blue Sox. This one's chopped. An easy play. The throw to first is on the ground, but then scooped out. And that'll retire the first batter. Lopez able to snag that one out of the floor. So 1 out now. 3 runs scored for Utica in the 5th. They have 6 hits on the day. RJ Tomei comes up with the runner on second. And you look in the outfield for Boonville, and their outfielders playing in. They've done this quite a bit today, but it's not been too effective because just balls haven't been flying in that direction. Just trying to maybe be able to get in and snag a ball that might usually turn into a single to get themselves on the side. So Boonville with 2 errors on the night so far. Utica 6 hits. Tomei. High fly ball into right field. Moving on back and making the catch is Guy. And so it'll keep Jones at second base. And so It's a fly out there for R.J. Tomei.
Designated hitter number 8, Bowden Fernsler.
Bowden Fernsler now comes on up to DH with 2 down, looking to expand the lead a little more for the Blue Sox. Being able to get it together so far has been Boonville, but only in the last 2 batters. Taking off for third and easily pulling on in is Jones, but it was fouled off, so he'll have to trot right back to second base. As a reminder, the mercy rule is 10 runs after the 7th inning. We're in the 5th right now, so the Blue Sox still have plenty of time. Boonville not on this one quite yet. They do have a new arm warming up in their bullpen. The 0-1 in there for a strike. Bronx Lewis here looking for his first strikeout of the season. In his first outing of the season. Ian Wirtz, the catcher, would be up next. Here's the 0-2. The pitch. And that one bounces off the shoulder of the catcher, or not. Bounce off the bat, they say foul ball.
The catcher, number 61, Ian Wirtz.
Or I guess it did not do either of those things. Instead of hit Bowden Fernsler. Fernsler takes a hit by pitch, makes his way onto base. Ian Wirtz comes up now with 2 runners on and an opportunity to expand the lead even more for the Blue Sox. Wirtz, a 6-3 ground out and a double on the night so far. I'm sure he'd love to get another one of those. The double, not the ground out, obviously. That first pitch in there, but too high, 1-0.
Ball.
Been a quick game here, only 8:07. Game started at 6:45. We're about to enter the 6th. The 1-0. Missed high. 2-0.
Ball.
The Lumberjacks in a big hole offensively right now. It would be made even harder if they're unable to keep Utica off the scoreboard for the rest of this side, but they're able to do that right there as an easy ground out to first. So that retires the side. The Blue Sox tack on 3 more. They lead it 8-0 after 5. Don't go anywhere. So Regis is back in for the Blue Sox. to no surprise, he has had himself a night so far. 8 strikeouts and only 1 base runner conceded. Still his second time facing the order and his second time facing Will Hill. Hill struck out his first time up, and he grounds this one foul. Bounces off the cage near the Blue Sox bullpen. Utica leads 8-0. Boonville deep in a hole, trying to climb out of it here in the second half of this game statistically. Here's the 0-1. The pitch from Rodriguez. Missed. 1-1. Rodriguez's accuracy has progressively gone down as this game's gone on, but, I mean, that's expected. He's pitched 5 innings so far.
Yeah. I mean, he still only allowed 1 base runner, but the outs are a little bit harder to come by.
Here's the throw, the first in time, and so a great throw by Paratano to retire the first batter of the side. He's relying a lot more on his fielders right now, but doesn't mean that it's a bad thing. He's still not giving up any runs. Boonville just can't get on base. So here comes Jihad Guy. He struck out his first time up. Only 1 player so far for Boonville has struck out twice, that being RJ Lopez. This is Rodriguez's last opportunity to add to that number. As after this, it's Elijah Negron, and then who grounded out his first time up, and then we're back to the top of the order. 3 consecutive 1-2-3 innings here defensively for the Blue Sox. The 0-1 swung on into foul territory, and it is caught there by RJ Tomei. So 2 up, 2 down, flying out, or excuse me, popping out in the foul ground there was Jihad Guy. The SpongeBob, that's not what he wanted, the Cook sound effect plays in the background as Elijah Negron.
And the quick outs keep coming for Rodriguez. That's great for his pitch count and his longevity in the game. Strikeouts are great, but if he can get those quick outs and those pop outs with the weak contact, that's also great.
The pitch swung on and missed, 0-1. This would be 4 consecutive 1-2-3 innings for Boonville if he's unable to reach base. The 0-1 from Rodriguez. Missed slow, 1-1. So you look at the Blue Sox fielders. You got Flashner, who's playing farther back than he normally would, flirting with the grass, as Morgan said earlier in the game, and then Paratano standing in his normal position. That one swung through. 1-2, and a chance for Utica to once again get out of the side with only 3 batters faced. Rodriguez looking for his 9th strikeout. The 1-2. Missed. So we'll do at least 1 more pitch. 2-2. 2 errors committed in tonight's game, both committed by Boonville. Blue Sox have been perfect in the field, and some of the plays have been very difficult to make. The 2-2. That one missed, and the count runs full. And now Negron with the opportunity to reach base in the form of a walk. It would only be the second one given up tonight by Rodriguez if that does come to fruition. The payoff. Struck him out. The 9th strikeout on the night for John Rodriguez. Down goes Elijah Negron. Seth Bischoff is the one person remaining in the lineup for Boonville that has only batted once. It's 4 consecutive 1-2-3 innings. The Blue Sox an opportunity to widen their lead when we come back. There's a new man on the mound to face the top of the order. Michael, who, like his predecessor, Bronx Lewis, has no stats on the year, so the first time we've seen him on the mound is Boonville looking to go to some unorthodox methods to try to climb back into this one, as their traditional pitchers have struggled.
Yeah, Bronx Lewis came in after having no stats on the year pitching-wise. Gave up a few, and now to another pitcher. Michael also doesn't have any batting stats, so he's completely new to the team. So Christian Griffin just trying to see if anything can work to keep this game at 8-0. The hope seems low for Boonville, but they want to keep this game alive and keep it out of mercy rule territory, which would be 2 more runs after the 7th.
Well, it starts by retiring Flashner, which has been tough to do tonight. They've only done it once, and they came and ground that fashion. Beyond that, there have been 2 walks given by Flashner. Leadoff pitch. Swung on, that will roll into right. Fielded cleanly to throw to first in time, and so a great start for Boonville. The first batter up is immediately retired in 1 pitch, a ground out. So here comes Kevin Francella. Francella on the day with a single, a double, a strikeout. And certainly going to be hoping that he gets back into his hitting ways after struggling his last time up. After him would be Xavier Smith and Anthony Paratano. The leadoff pitch. Michael takes a breath, delivers. It's a slow one, high 1-0. Ball. Michael stands on the mound, takes a deep breath. Now delivers. Goes down with the off speed, 1-1. If the score holds right now, that would mark the first time that the Blue Sox have beaten Boonville at home this year, and it would also mark the first time that a game at Bernane Field has ended with a deficit of more than a singular run. Or 2 runs, excuse me. It has been a competitive affair between these two this season at Bernane Field, but so far with the exception of today. 1-2 coming from Michael. And that one just misses. Oh, it looked like Michael could have recorded his first strikeout on the year right there, but just couldn't get that one to go where he wanted. 2-2. Boonville seeking to avoid their 5th consecutive loss. And Utica looking to move to 1 game under 500. This one is fielded cleanly at first. Maybe a little bit of trouble there from Lopez, but he's able to bring that one on in for the ground out.
Right fielder number 10, Xavier Smith.
So here's Xavier Smith. Grounded into a double play, got hit and reached on an error. Scored a run twice on the night. After him, it would be Anthony Paratano, who scored a run 3 times. Utica looking to avoid going 1-2-3 and really helping out the stats of Michael on the mound, making his first appearance on the season. Both errors committed in this game came by Boonville, and both were committed on the second to third base side of the field in the infield. The 1-0 swung through on the off-speed offering, fooled Smith. You look into right, or excuse me, you look into left, and that's where most of the outfielders are skewed towards, and the infielders are backed up, trying to do anything here to just get the outs and give their offense a chance to come back. 1-1, swung on and missed. It's 1-2. Blue Sox have had a lot of trouble with Michael's off-speed offerings. almost just fooling them with how slow he's been throwing. That one didn't fool him, though. Missed outside, 2-2. 2 balls, 2 strikes, 2 down. 2 errors from Boonville, if you're a fan of number 2. As the right fielder, Xavier Smith, who stole a base on the night so far. And reached on an error and got hit by a pitch. Waits on the box. 2-2 coming. That one misses, 3-2. We've seen really nothing in terms of velocity for Michael, throwing a lot of off-speed pitches.
Michael trying to have a very quick inning and give Boonville a chance to come back. He's done a good job so far.
It's a full count. And that one misses high, and so taking a walk is Xavier Smith. This brings up Anthony Paratano, who's been silent tonight, but not in terms of getting runners on base, as he's reached all 3 times, but only a single, so he's walked twice. And he's stolen 2 bases, so silent, I guess, in terms of hitting besides that 1 single, but in terms of the score sheet, he's been all over it with 3 runs. And after Paratano comes Jack Sweeney. With 2 down, Paratano trying to advance to Speedy Smith, who you wouldn't be too shocked to see take off with nobody really trying to keep him on at first. That first pitch misses high, 1-0. The 1-0. Pitch, Smith takes off. The pitch misses high. Smith nearly gets hit in the face. The ball rolls into the outfield, but nowhere for Smith to take off to. It's 2-0, runner in scoring position. Sweeney after Parentano, then Connor Jones. And if it gets to him, it would be Justin Levine, but with 2 down, it would take a pretty significant 2-out rally, but not impossible. We saw the Blue Sox do it earlier tonight. 6 hits on the day for Utica, continuing with their hitting ways. However, have not recorded one here in the bottom of the 6th. The 2-0. Swung on, line drive into left field, that'll drive in a run. Smith comes around third, and he is easily home. And the throw to second, and now getting caught in a pickle is Paratano. They race in and tag him, but the run does score. So the side is retired off of a base running mistake there by Paratano, who tried to get for second and couldn't get there in time, but the run does come in and score. Xavier Smith makes it 9-0 off of Paratano's single, double, caught in a bad situation thing. It's 9-0 Utica. We'll go to a break. Rodriguez remains on the mound for the Blue Sox. I mean, why not? He's done everything perfectly tonight besides a couple of walks. And his next challenger will be the top of the order, or excuse me, not the top of the order. Seth Bischoff, the catcher. And Bischoff lines this one to left field. There goes the no-hitter. It's a base hit. And so the very first pitch in the 7th inning thrown by Rigas is a hit. But that does not take away from the night he's had so far. And we were waiting on mentioning for the first time that he has a no-hitter going, and we're unfortunately not going to be able to get that opportunity. But Rigas still has the opportunity to throw a complete game shutout. That was his first hit allowed, and it's the 7th inning. He has had an absolutely astounding night. So, Bischoff on first. Lassiter at the plate, followed by Abaga, then Lopez. Nobody down here for Boonville in the top of the 7th. Utica, if they were to score a run in the bottom of the inning and Boonville's unable to do any damage here, that would be the end of the game in mercy rule fashion. And it would be the earliest finish we've had at any of these games this year if that were to happen, assuming that there's not like a random 50-run inning.
It would certainly be the most. It would certainly be the first run rule that the Blue Sox have had at home. They got close against Glens Falls. They were up 9-0 in that game as well, and got close to that in the bottom of the 8th, but couldn't pick up the 10th run. But now we're here in the 7th inning, and that's when the run rule comes into effect. So you got to be up 10 after a 7th or 8th. That
one is fouled down. It's 2-2. An opportunity here for Rigas to retire his first batter of the side. Lassiter's not struck out yet today, so he's yet to become a victim of the K, but very well could right here. He flew out in the foul ground and grounded out to second. The 2-2. Lassiter steps in the box, takes a look out. Rigas stares back at him. The pitch is in there. Strike 3 called. The second backwards K on the night for Abaga, or excuse me, for Rigas. I was wondering for a second why I said Abaga. It's because he's coming up right now. Devon Abaga, who struck out once and flew out on the night, is at the plate. That is the 9th strikeout recorded for John Rigas tonight. Absolutely astounding what he's been able to do. That first pitch fouled on 1. There's a train horn or something honking outside the ballpark. The stuff you hear on a Monday night in Utica. A beautiful Monday night at that. Sun's behind the clouds, but it's a nice 72 degrees here at the ballpark. Perfect weather for anyone who wants to enjoy the game without getting obliterated by the sun. That pitch in there, 1-1. One coming. That swung on foul. So now it's 1-2. Abaga hoping to not strike out for the second time tonight. Can he fight against it right here? The mysterious honking noise has returned. Does it affect Rigas? No, it doesn't. That one's fouled out. But you have to wonder with, I mean, what I'm assuming is a train running somewhere nearby. Since it's close enough, if it were to go off at the perfect time, maybe it would mess with Rigas' delivery and cause a wild pitch, which would allow a runner to advance in the scoring position. But it certainly does it right there. The 1-2, swing and a miss. 10th K on the night. Devon Abaga down on strikes.
Another strikeout for Rigas. He has been dominant. Now in double figures. That's a rare feat. And I think that is going to be it.
So it looks like that's going to be the night for Rigas. They let him get that 10th K and then say, thank you for your service. We're going to take you out. He allows 1 hit on the night and only a singular walk. 10 strikeouts, just absolutely unbelievable the night he had. And while he couldn't get the no-hitter, it does not take away from the fact that Boonville is scratching their heads on how to deal with him. So we'll go to break here as the Blue Sox bring in a new arm on the mound. It's 9-0 Utica here in the top of the 7th. 2 down. We're back here for the continuation of the top of the 7th. RJ Lopez comes in. New man on the mound here for the Blue Sox after Regas' absolutely stellar performance. Leadoff pitch. Hits him. And so the first pitch is a hit-by pitch, moving a runner into scoring position, so not the most ideal way to start things off. And Michael Clarkson comes on in. Clarkson has had an ineffective day so far, popped out and flew out. What a place this would be to score the game's first run for Boonville. Regas goes the majority of the way. It's a 9-0 game, a Blue Sox lead. The 1-0. And did they say it hit him? They do. So 2 consecutive hit by pitches here to start things off. And now all of a sudden the bases are loaded for Masai Marshall. Marshall steps into the batter's box. He's walked and struck out. Here comes the leadoff pitch. And they're called strike. For the Blue Sox, this is Joey Kafka on the mound. Kafka looking to continue things here for the Blue Sox. Chopped to third. The play made, the force. Side retired. Utica gets out of it and has a chance to effectively walk things off in the bottom of the 7th by gaining 1 more run. The Blue Sox look to end the game in the form of a mercy rule when we come back. The Blue Sox need just one more run, and then the game will be over at the conclusion of the side. Jack Sweeney is up for the Blue Sox. They lead 9-0. And the Blue Sox bats have woken up tonight for sure. And Sweeney. Now an opportunity to start things off. First pitch, ball. Back on the mound is Mason Michael. Michael conceded 1 run in the 6th. And that pitch is high, 2-0. It's the 4th time around the order for the Blue Sox. After Sweeney, it is Jones and Levine. And if needed, then it would be Tomei, Fernsler, and Wirtz. That one misses down low, and it's 3-0. And an opportunity now for the Blue Sox to get the 10-run run on base. The count is 3-0. Here's the pitch. In there for a strike, 3-1. Here's the 3-1 pitch. Michael stares at home plate and delivers. Missed it high, and a leadoff walk here drawn by Jack Sweeney. Connor Jones is up next, the center fielder. A 1-3 bunt ground out, which ended up turning into a sacrifice as it advanced the runners. Connor Jones with an error, reaching on an error on top of that, and a single. And I'm sure he would be happy to do that here to drive the runners along the base paths. After him, it is Justin Levine. It's been a complete effort tonight from Utica here in the bottom of the 7th. Leadoff pitch, missed high, 1-0. The 1-0. Swung on, line drive in the center field, base hit. And so pulling on into second base is Jack Sweeney. Connor Jones with a single. And this brings up Justin Levine.
This has really been a clinical offensive display for the Blue Sox. They've done everything right today, and they're trying to put double digits on the board tonight.
What can Levine do? Trying to expand the Blue Sox lead to 10 runs. Nobody down. The pitch. Fouled off. 0-1. Levine in the right-handed batter's box. It's a stolen base, or not, foul ball. It would have been a stolen base for Jack Sweeney. Instead, he has to make the walk of shame back to second following that one getting fouled off by Levine. It's 0-2. Opportunity for Michael to retire his first batter of the side. And the Blue Sox just trying to advance that run home to end this game after 7. Only 1 hit conceded by the Blue Sox today. 8 hits for Utica. 2 errors committed by Boonville, none committed by Utica. That one is grounded. It will advance the runner to third, but they get the force at second, so runners on the corners for R.J. Tomei.
Well, the job for Tomei is just to get a deep enough fly ball to score the 10th run and end the game at a mercy rule through 7 innings. That's your goal right now. I mean, a hit could definitely work, but at minimum, just try and get a fly ball deep enough, or perhaps do a sacrifice bunt to the right part of the infield. Whatever you can do.
It's 8:41. Would be the earliest finish of any of these games this season as of now. Tomei trying to drive in the 10th run. Fouls the first one off. You can see the infield pulled way in to try and prevent that. And any hope of this game continuing rests on Mason Michael. On one. That one nearly skips away. Barely able to hold that one in. There was the catcher, Steph Bischoff. RJ Tomei got hit by a pitch, lined out, and flew out. Looking to send in the game-sealing 10th run. Tomei watches that one miss. It's now 2-1. With one down, the Blue Sox are 90 feet away from ending the game. Now the game would not end, I believe, until the side is fully retired. Runner takes off for second. That pitch misses. It's 3-1, and 2 runners in scoring position for the Blue Sox, who are loaded up here to try and end this thing. Boonville, quite literally, it seems, on their last legs. A walk would not drive in the run, but it would load them up for Bowden Fernsler. Instead, it's a high fly ball into center field, having to go way back and making the catch. The runner tags and scores. And that will officially constitute the mercy rule. And it turns out that is a walk-off. Everyone walks off the field. The Blue Sox, on a sacrifice fly from RJ Tomei, have mercy ruled the Boonville Lumberjacks.
Excellent win for the Blue Sox. And they finally beat Boonville at home. It just took a mercy rule to do it.
So after losing their first 3 meetings against Boonville at home this year, they make a statement offensively and win 10-0 over the Lumberjacks. John Regas, this game's MVP, with 10 Ks and only 1 hit conceded. We will say farewell here from Donovan Stadium at Murnane Field. The Blue Sox take down the Lumberjacks 10-0.